Hello guys, this is Shaky Beeves and welcome to another episode of my Mace and Miracles playthrough of Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin. So just doing a bit of backtracking here to get the dull ember over to Macduff. What a great character. Very devious, that actually something that's quite simple. In at least Dark Souls 3 as an example, you can go to one blacksmith to do all of your infusion and everything that you need. Which is probably why there was some critique aimed at Dark Souls 3 originally for its simplifying and making some things more user-friendly. Yeah, quite devious that you need to find this second blacksmith, similar to Dark Souls 1 with some of the hidden blacksmiths there, to actually do something that's quite inherent to Dark Souls, which is infusion. And also they've slightly branded it differently with the stones. Perhaps it's potato patata, but either way it adds that extra level of complexity in terms of where you procure those stones from. But yeah, Mr. Macduff, here he is.
I'm Macduff the blacksmith. All I want is a little flame. So, hand that ember to me. Right now, you imbecile. What a marvelous ember. You've got stones, I pray. Give me stones, and I'll fortify your gear.
So we'll come back to Macduff later. I actually didn't have the stones. Had to do some reading to figure out where we get them. And actually Blue Sentinel Target Grey actually sells them for 7,000 souls, so we're laughing. And we'll get those later. I kind of wish we'd got them before Old Iron King, because Old Iron King was very susceptible to lightning damage, so it would have been pretty cool to have our chime buffed with lightning, which is what we're going to have by the end of this. So thank you to one of my subscribers, Dragon of the Abyss, for the tips there. Really appreciate that. So we do establish a buffed chime towards the end of this episode with the lightning damage. But yeah, slight video essay triggered by this incredibly tough area. And it got me thinking, you know, this area in terms of pure level design is one of the most brutal areas I've ever faced. It constantly toys with your human instincts to make mistakes and panic. It throws lots of environmental challenges alongside lots of devious enemy positions. So I mean, in terms of raw gameplay design, this is one of the most toughest and most complex and well thought out gameplay designs I've ever come across. Really, it is torture at times. So many deaths, and I'm not going to edit in all of them, but you're going to see some of them for sure. And I mean, how do I feel about that and where it stands amongst the other Dark Souls games? You know, am I happy it exists in the franchise as such an oddity that actually values raw gameplay and level design over arguably environmental storytelling, atmosphere, and simply art direction? You know, a lot of the times it looks very gamey. Where do I stand on that? It's a very interesting point. I'd love to hear your points. But let's first hear some incredible voice acting. I love this guy.
Stay back and we slice you to bits.
In my chance, we shan't be left.
Stay back all your pieces. Tiniest pieces.
Whoever that guy is an absolute legend. One of the best voice actors I've ever heard in a Dark Souls game. I absolutely loved it. But yeah, going back to my point, how do I feel about this game alongside the other games? Would I want every Dark Souls game to be designed in this way? Absolutely not. You know, I do miss the atmosphere, I miss the attention to detail and the incredible art direction, the cohesiveness of the worlds that have come from Software in later days. Probably wouldn't put Dark Souls 1, I'd probably put half of Dark Souls 1 in that bucket. I actually think it loses its way, as I've talked about before, in the latter half in terms of design and sort of cohesiveness. But if you look at Dark Souls 3, if you look at Sekiro, if you look at Bloodborne, they've all got an incredible sort of art direction, lore, atmosphere that perhaps Dark Souls 2 lacks. It's sort of very bitty and it looks very gamey, and it lacks some of that art direction, I think, and some of that subtlety in terms of the encounters and design. You know, there are punishing moments, but not punishing for the sake of punishing. You know, not pure hardcore level design. You know, there's a reason for things being the way they are. So this stands out as an oddity amongst the other games. But am I glad it exists? Yes, I probably am. You know, it's a strange Dark Souls game. I don't think there'll ever be another one like it with Miyazaki at the helm, and perhaps I'm glad for that. But I'm also glad that this strange game exists, and that, you know, from a design perspective, they definitely, in my mind and in my opinion, valued just pure gameplay encounters over anything else. And then I think they sort of hodgepodge the sort of art direction and design and the world overarching look and feel and design sort of after, really. I feel like gameplay takes precedent over anything else. You know, how are we going to mess with the player? How are we going to troll the player here? How are we going to make it more difficult for the player? That's how I see this game. But something keeps me coming back. I think that gameplay loop and that sort of complete challenge, that raw challenge that this game offers, keeps me coming back. So I'm really intrigued to see the end. Actually, now, of course, we embrace another great soul at the end with Old Iron King, and I actually really enjoyed this boss fight. As a little hat tip to sort of Demon Souls, the big demon boss in that game. And I certainly think it's better than sort of the great centipede that erupts from lava rather in Dark Souls 1. I always do a slip on my commentary, don't I? Do forgive me. But yeah, I think it's a good boss, really enjoyable, really susceptible to lightning damage, as I said, so it's really cool for my build, actually. So you're going to see that towards the end of the episode, so do keep watching. But yeah, I think that about wraps things up. We are, as I alluded to, I think we're sort of towards the end game. Once we open Shrine of Winter, which I'm going to aim to do next episode by making our way through Doors of Pharos, we're sort of on that end game path. You know, there's not a huge amount of bosses in the way there. There may be a huge amount of time in terms of gameplay challenge, you know, as I've already alluded to. You know, just purely blockers held up by the gameplay and the challenge that's in front of you. But in terms of raw bosses, perhaps we're on the end game path. So I'm going to see you on the next one, hopefully. Thanks for watching, and take care.